Well, all I can say is, oops. I think Chief Staff Ron Klain caught in a lie. Caught in a very big lie. Hunter Biden's laptop strikes again. Klain wrote, this is a memo to Hunter Biden in 2012, I believe. Quote, keep this low key to prevent bad PR. Yeah, I'll say. Here to talk about is Senator Rick Scott, National Republican Senatorial Committee Chair and distinguished senator from the free state of Florida. Senator Scott, thank you, sir. So let me just get this right. Klain goes on the Sunday talk shows and said the White House knows nothing about Hunter Biden, his laptop, his business interests. Those are all, quote unquote, private matters. But then it turns out we discover this email from the laptop where in 2012, Klain, who was vice president's chief of staff and then left to run the foundation, he dials up Hunter Biden and says, I need 20 grand to paint the vice president's observatory house. I need 20 grand to paint the house. How did he know he had money for that, 20 grand? Why doesn't, maybe Hunter Biden was homeless. I mean, if you listen to Klain on Sunday, he didn't know a thing. Then you look at this memo, he seemed to know a lot. What do you think about that, Senator Scott?
Don't lie. It's pretty simple. Don't lie. I mean, he lied. I mean, everybody around the Bidens knew that Hunter Biden had all these relationships with our adversaries, and he was a piggy bank for the president. So we need to understand exactly what happened here. But big tech, a lot of the media, they don't want to do anything that would impact Joe Biden. But finally, all this is coming out. They had to acknowledge that the Hunter Biden laptop was for real, which they said it wasn't before. So I think this is going to get worse and worse for the Biden family because I think they're going to have done a lot of bad things. But let's get the facts. Whatever the facts are, and they need to quit lying.
Yeah, Senator, it's just interesting. From Miranda Devine of the New York Post, who's covered this thing so brilliantly, book and so forth. Klain goes on the Sunday talk shows and basically, to use Miranda's phrase, threw Hunter and his uncle Jim Biden, that's Joe's brother, under the bus. Just threw him under the bus, right? We didn't know anything. The president didn't know anything. It's a completely private matter. And, oh, by the way, it's going to be dealt with by the Justice Department. But that's a lie. You know that Joe Biden was involved in all of these discussions, deliberations. That's what the other laptop emails have shown with great clarity. The 10% for the big guy, et cetera. I mean, they're not going to get away from this. This is a hornet's nest that is exploding.
Well, they've gotten away with it for a while, but I don't think they're going to get away with it. And when we get the majority back, we're going to find out exactly what happened. Joe Biden and the Biden family needs to be held accountable. I'm on Armed Services Committee. I'm Homeland Security Committee, on both of those. But on Homeland Security, we're going to do a thorough investigation and get to the bottom of this so people know exactly what the Biden family's been doing. Why would the Biden family have relationships with their adversaries, Russia and China? And we got to get the facts out.
In some sense, you're one of the leaders of the cavalry. You're running the Senate Campaign Committee. Is this a political issue? Are you hearing this, from the grassroots around the country?
Oh, absolutely. Probably the biggest issue is this runaway inflation the Biden administration has caused, the border crisis, and what's going to happen now with getting rid of Title 42. That's a big deal. Not being energy independent. But I think fraud and corruption, it infuriates people. It infuriates Republicans, independents, and Democrats. And so you have to be transparent when you want to run for office.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the polls that way back when, if people had known about this and the issue had credibility, they wouldn't have voted for Biden. They'd have voted for Trump. I mean, Trump could conceivably be president today if the media had covered this the way the New York Post and Fox and some others covered it. I mean, that's just a reality.
Yeah, tech companies and the left-wing media, they've got to start doing their job. And they've got egg on their face, but it probably would have impacted the last election. But we are where we are, so let's get to the bottom of this and make sure this doesn't happen again.
You like Elon Musk kind of taking over Twitter?
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, you get tired of them. I mean, you get tired of Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, these guys censoring things. I gave a speech at CPAC, about a month ago, and YouTube took that off because I don't know what I said that was controversial. But you just get tired of this. I mean, if they want to be a social media platform, that means we all get to participate. They don't get to pick and choose. If they're going to pick and choose, then they shouldn't get exemption from the 230s, so they ought to be held accountable like you are, like the New York Times should be, things like that.
Yeah, well, I think Musk is going to be a breath of fresh air. Last one, Senator Scott. This Don't Say Gay law, which is not what the Florida law said. The Florida law, just to be clear, said 5-year-olds don't have to be taught about gender and sexual differences and whatnot. Fifth kindergarten to third graders. It's been misused as a Don't Say Gay. Now, where I'm going with this is Mayor Adams is posting 5 digital billboards, if I have this right. No, he's had billboards in 5 major Florida cities inviting people, come to the city where you can say whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. As senator from the free state of Florida, what do you make of it? You think the population of Florida is going to move back to New York?
I don't think anybody's moving back. And by the way, what he ought to be doing is running ads in his own city to try to get people to quit moving. So many people are moving out of the Northeast down to Florida because they don't want high taxes. They don't want to, they don't, I mean, Mayor Adams, he's not cutting taxes. He's not reducing regulation. He's not cleaning up the city. Crime is not going down. So why would anybody move back? And that's why people are continuing to move. He ought to, one, get his house in order and maybe run some ads in New York City. Say, please, please, please don't move. I'll do better.
Are you all in Florida threatened? Do you think, is this a real threat?
I'm being tongue-in-cheek.
I'm being tongue-in-cheek here.
I wouldn't be worried too about it.
No, I think Eric Adams has put some more cops on the beat. I give him credit for that. But I tell you what, sir, you're right. So far, he's done nothing for the tax and regulatory burden, which has so damaged our cities. I hope he makes a dent in crime, sincerely, but he hasn't worked on the economic issues. Anyway, Senator Rick Scott, unafraid of Mayor Adams. And we'll keep an eye on this Hunter Biden laptop. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. See you soon.
See you, Larry. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You bet.